Hi guys, I finally connected. Yay! I'm so sorry for this whole issue with Google. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? You can tap. You can type it in the chat box. So all those who have been waiting, thank you so much for your patience. I really appreciate it. Um, let's see if anybody. Okay. Oh, we have someone. Jorge. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, so I'm so glad you joined. I know you were here since like the beginning of class, like a good 30 minutes ago. So, and like I said, I'm so sorry, guys. It's really out of my hand and it's really out of Verbling's hands as well. Like the guys here can't really do anything if it's an issue from, Google's side, which is what it is. So, I apologize. And right now we are in the premium account 2-minute phase. So the first 2 minutes of all classes are reserved for premium account users, and after they have all kind of worked their way in, made class reservations, then the seats are going to open up for everybody else who is watching. All right, Jorge, are you a premium account user, or did you just have a couple of reservations that you're using?
I have a couple of just reservations.
Okay, all right. So what do you think of the premium account feature so far?
What do you think about what?
What do you think about this premium account feature, like where you have 2 minutes to get into class and you can like reserve a spot for yourself? What do you think about that? Do you like it?
Well, I don't know because I think that I can join the chat if I wait, or I don't understand good the reservations. How this work? How it works?
Okay, so you can have unlimited number of reservations if you upgrade to a premium account. That means that you can save a spot for yourself in any and all classes, all right? And you have and then you have 2 minutes to get to class, all right? So the first 2 minutes are only going to be reserved for people who have saved a spot for themselves. So if you've ever been like left out of a class, or you came a little late, then that eliminates that issue, all right? And after you come in class, you save a spot for yourself, then the rest of the spots open up for everybody else, okay? So if you reserved a spot, then like you're guaranteed to get into class if you get here in the first 2 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So we have everybody joined us. Hi. Who just said hi?
Yeah.
You did it? Oh my god, everybody's like, yeah, I made it. And like we're all the people who are like, who retired, who went to bed. I'm sorry, they're gonna watch this video tomorrow and be like, oh man, I should have stayed up like just 10 minutes more. So for all those who like sweated it out with me, everybody knows what that means? Sweated it out with me?
We are ready.
Yeah? So all you guys who sweated it out with me, it paid off. Yay. Okay, so you guys are ready. All right, so welcome everybody who is new and all the familiar faces. It's always nice to have new and old faces in class. There's Hyujin, there's Hussam, there's Jalal, there's Lucas, Salah, Eric, Heather, and Andre. Hi guys, welcome. It's really nice to have really nice to have everybody. And so our class today is a speaking class, and now, even though we only have 25 minutes to talk about it, I would still love to know about all the extreme sports that you guys have tried or currently take part in, and also what extreme sports you are too afraid to do, all right? So our class today is a speaking class. If you don't know what an extreme sport is, that's okay. We're here to learn. Extreme sports are sports that have a very, very high risk associated with them when you take part in them. So high level of like a danger, an inherent danger. A lot of these sports usually involve, hold on, it's noisy. Okay. So a lot of extreme sports usually involve a lot of speed or height or a high level of physical exertion. So you really, really push your body, all right? And very specialized gear. So the equipment for extreme sports varies by sport. And unfortunately, most of it tends to be very expensive, all right? So people have ever not wanted to take part in an extreme sport is usually because it's, you know, it's expensive. So I want to know what extreme sports you guys have tried, which ones you'd like to try, and why you haven't gotten around taking part in any if you haven't so far. Okay? Heather, yes, you are very noisy today. So I'm just going to say before we begin, if everybody could just mute their microphones, that would be great, because it's really like I can hear all the static and all the dogs barking and all the cars honking if you don't mute your microphones. All right. So, and if you don't do it, I'm gonna have to go and mute everyone, and I don't want to do that. All right. Okay. So I usually go through like a quick round of introduction before I start class, but before we're kind of stressed for time here, I want everybody to get an opportunity to speak. So we'll go one by one. Everybody will introduce themselves, say where they're from, and tell us one extreme sport that you have tried, currently take part in, like if you actively go skydiving like every year, or if you actively go scuba diving or something, or a sport that they have thought about doing but for some reason haven't because they were scared, or whatever your reason. All right. I'm going to go last. Usually I go first in classes, but I want everybody to have an opportunity to, you know, get a little bit of speaking airtime. All right. And again, can everybody mute themselves? It's just super noisy. And you know what? I'm gonna have to go through and mute everybody if you guys keep yourselves unmuted. All right. And I don't want to do that. Okay. So let us begin. And again, if you don't know what an extreme sport is, that's okay. You can ask. I'll give you lots of examples. A couple of examples of extreme sports is skydiving, okay? Scuba diving. What else is there? Rock climbing. Rock climbing is pretty extreme and it can be very dangerous. There's also windsurfing.
Bungee jump.
Bungee jumping. Bungee jumping is one of them. Yeah. There's also paragliding. What else? Mountain biking. So there are just a couple of examples of extreme sports. And again, if you have tried one that I didn't name, that's okay. I want to know about it. All right. So let us start with Andre. Andre, just quickly introduce yourself and then tell us about the extreme sport.
Yeah, my name is Andre. I'm from Brazil, and I appreciate bungee jump because I think it.
Have you done bungee jumping, or you want to?
No, I twice.
Twice. Ooh, tell us what it was like.
In the last one, do you know Stratosphere in Las Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
The top of the town, there is a kind of bungee jump.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And the last Sunday, the holidays in California, I went to bungee jumping in Stratosphere Tower.
That's awesome. So Andre is into bungee jumping. Does everybody know what bungee jumping is? If you don't know, then you can tell us. No? Husion's like, no. No? Yes? Okay.
I said yes.
Sorry, Husion?
I know what bungee jumping is.
Okay. All right. So that's awesome. Andre, do you want to tell us a little bit about how it feels when you go bungee jumping?
Yes. At the beginning, the sensation is very exciting because you can see all the landscape so high, and after you through yourself, how can I say, your life passes flashes in your mind.
Your life flashes in front of your eyes. It's like, I might die. That is actually
I will die now. My God, help me.
So if bungee jumping is when you jump and there's like an elastic rope tied to you, and then you jump down, and then the rope pulls you back up. So a lot of people bungee jump over water, and then their like head gets drenched in the river or stream. So did you bungee jump over water or just over like dry land?
No, dry land.
Dry land. Okay, that's awesome. That's great. Thank you, Andre. It's pretty exciting. Next, let's go, Eric. Eric, introduce yourself and tell us about your experience or your would-be experience.
Yeah, I'm from Mexico. I haven't tried any extreme sports so far, but I would really like to go skydiving. I think
like
what?
Yo, go ahead. Really going to go skydiving? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting, and I think it would be really extreme.
Really, yeah. So is there skydiving available where you live?
I don't know. I don't have an idea.
No? Okay, all right. So where would you like to skydive? Like in your city, in like Paris, in London? Where would you like to go skydiving if you had the opportunity?
Anywhere, I think. Anywhere in Europe, it would be cool to
Anywhere
see all
in New York?
in Europe.
Europe.
Europa?
Europe.
Europe.
Yep, yeah.
To see all the buildings and that stuff, it would be cool.
Yeah, definitely. And Eric, you and I share the same interest. I want to go skydiving as well. But the thing about where I live is that it's very expensive. I don't know if you know how much it would cost. Do you have any idea?
A friend of mine told me he has an uncle who works there, and he says he can get a ticket for 2,000 pesos. So it's not that expensive.
It's not that expensive. I'm not sure how much 2,000 pesos would be, but like in Toronto, where I come from in Canada,
$200.
Oh, that's really cheap. That's actually really cheap. In Toronto, where I live in Canada, it's like your first jump is like $450. It's really expensive.
Dollars?
$450, yeah. So it's more than twice as much as how much you would pay.
But that would be with a discount, so
No,
I think it would be the same.
yeah. No, that's what it is. I guess with discounts you could get like maybe $100 off, so it would still be $350. It's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, but that's an interest that I share as well. I'd love to go bungee jumping. No, sorry, bungee jumping. I mean, I'd love to go bungee jumping too, but skydiving is like my extreme sport number one.
And where would you like to go skydiving?
I would actually like to skydive in Toronto, in like where I live, like where I'm from. Just because I feel like it would give me a new perspective on the city. Like I've never seen where I live from that height, and to kind of jump down would be, I think, very, very exhilarating. Does everybody know what exhilarating means?
Yeah. What?
Exhilarating. Exhilarating. I'm gonna write that in the chat box. Exhilarating is when it's like it's exciting and it's a little scary and it really gets your adrenaline pumping. So it's like an extreme form of excitement. Okay? My dream is to jump out from a plane. Yeah, that's skydiving, Norbert. So that's what Eric and I are talking about. So we'd love to go skydiving, and I feel like it'd be a really exhilarating experience. Awesome. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for sharing that with us. Next we have Hussam.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm from Hussam. I'm from Egypt. I'm 90 years old. Actually, I study commerce in Cairo. I really I don't like skydiving.
Okay.
I fear of it.
You would feel scared.
I know. I fear of the heights very much.
Okay, so you have a phobia. So you're scared of heights?
Yeah, not a phobia, but not a phobia, but I feel something bad about that.
You've heard bad things about skydiving?
No, but no phobia.
No, okay, yeah, I'm just writing that a phobia is like a fear, like an irrational fear of something. It's called a phobia. So for all those who don't know, so if you have like a fear of heights or like a fear of small spaces, and like if you're in a really small room, that's called claustrophobia. Okay, so a phobia is an irrational fear of things. Okay, acrophobia, fear. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you fear attending classes? No, Ahmed. Okay, so what extreme sport would you like to take part in, Hussam? If it doesn't have to be skydiving, what would you?
Yeah. I like traveling. A lot of traveling. I want to be in maybe London or Dubai, places like that.
Okay, so you like traveling. So you're not really into like doing like traveling isn't really a sport, like it's not really like an extreme sport. There's no danger to your life, but I guess if you want to fly to different places, then like going that high up in a plane, I suppose that's an activity. But nothing too extreme, eh, Sam?
No, yeah.
No? He's like, no. I like to stay on the ground. I like to stay dry. I don't want to be doing nothing but jumping out of planes. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Hussam.
Not at all.
Yeah. If at the end of everybody's, when they've spoken, and if you hear about like an interesting extreme sport that you haven't heard of that you'd like to take part in, then you can definitely be like, you know what? I'd be up for that. All right. So I'll come back to you and ask what kind of sport you'd like to take part in. Thanks, Hussam. Next we have Hyujin.
Hello.
Hi, Hyujin.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Almost evening, but thank you.
Yeah. My name is Huyền. I'm from Vietnam, and I haven't had any chance to try extreme sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have a fear of heights.
Okay. So but, you guys know that there's lots of extreme sports you can do on the land, right? Like not every sport is jumping out of a plane.
Yeah, but I would like to try paragliding, because at least if I fall, I'm gonna fall into water.
Okay, paragliding is interesting. There's another sport. It's not really paragliding, but it's like you wear this suit and you fly and you jump out of a plane, and it's very similar, but you don't have a parachute. It's like your clothes are like your parachute. I can't remember what it's
like
called.
Hang gliding.
Yeah, like hang gliding, exactly. So why do you think that paragliding is safer than, say, bungee jumping or skydiving? You're still really high up in the sky, so why do you think it's not as scary?
I'm not sure, but I usually see they have a motorboat and they kind of pull the person who is wearing a parachute. Yeah, and like I said, if I ever fall, I will fall into the water, and it makes it easier.
Yeah, that's true. So does everybody know what Hyujin is talking about? Has everybody heard of paragliding?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, Hyujin, why don't you explain it a little bit to us for so Hyujin, what you're talking about is called parasailing. Okay,
oh,
Hyujin?
Parasailing.
Yeah, I was like, which is that? Okay, so parasailing is when you have a parachute and it's attached to a boat. So you're not really on your own ever. You're kind of connected to land, and the boat, it drives on water, and then it pulls you, and because of like the wind pressure, you move up, and then you're going along with the boat. So that's parasailing. Paragliding is you're not attached to anything. You usually jump from like a cliff or a really high mountain. You could even jump from like a plane, but not as high as, skydiving. And then when you reach and then you always have like a parachute on top of your head, and you maneuver which direction you want to go. Okay? So parasailing, yeah. So parasailing is over water. Paragliding is not over water. It's usually over dry land, and you're not attached to anything. So Hyujin would like to try parasailing, right?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
With parasailing, you will just fall without anything, without parachute?
Hyujin will answer that for us. Hyujin, did you hear Eric's question?
Yeah, can you repeat the question, please?
That when you go parasailing, you will just fall down without a parachute?
I'm not really sure. Like, you're gonna have a motorboat and it's gonna pull you, and when it stops pulling, you're gonna fall. I have no idea about the ending part of it.
You guys know how parachutes work, right? A parachute pulls you up because there's air that goes inside it, right? So it's pulling you up because there's pressure building up underneath, and it's gonna pull you up into the sky. So with parasailing, the boat is moving and it's making pressure in the parachute, and then you come up. So when the boat stops moving, there's no more pressure from the wind. So the person's going to fall down in the water. Do you understand, Eric?
Oh, I thought it was just when you wear a kind of suit and you just fall without anything.
No, see, that's why all these extreme sports are different. So when you wear a suit and you're free falling, so you have nothing, you're not holding anything, okay? That's skydiving. There's different versions of skydiving, but that's skydiving. And then when you reach a certain altitude, you're supposed to pull and open your parachute and then come down slowly, okay? Yeah. So that fall is called a free fall, okay? So paragliding, parasailing, they're not free fall. You always have a parachute on, okay? All right, awesome. Any other questions, Eric? No? Okay,
no,
awesome.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thanks, Fusion. That's quite interesting, and I was assumed that they have a lot of parasailing in Vietnam. I mean, there's so much water around Vietnam. So do they have?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Do you know anybody who's been parasailing?
Maybe my friends. I have never asked them.
You never asked them. Okay. I feel like it's a very a lot of tourists, they come to a country and they'll do it because it's so new and exotic for them. But when you live in a country and you're just oh, I can go parasailing anytime, then you don't ever really go.
Hina.
Yeah, go ahead, Andre.
In Rio de Janeiro, here, the people practice skydiving. Not skydiving, the another one. I forgot. Skygliding.
Paragliding, skydiving.
Yes, paragliding.
Okay. Yeah.
The people throw in sugar bread, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the people throw yourself and after control the parachute.
Yeah. I know that the really popular statue in Rio de Janeiro, people jump from top of that. Because it's so high, they'll get on top of it and then they'll jump with a parachute and then they'll paraglide throughout the city. I've heard of that and I've seen pictures of that.
It's so exciting. You need to visit.
Yeah. It's awesome. It sounds exhilarating. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Andre, and thank you, Hyujin. Next we have Jalal.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Jalal. Nice to have you back.
Thanks. My name is Jalal. I live in Canada, in Quebec, and I didn't really try an extreme sport yet. But I have a lot of friends who asked me to go ice climbing. And I like the idea because I like the feeling of the adrenaline rush.
Adrenaline rush, yeah. Adrenaline rush, yes. So you like the feeling of adrenaline rush?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to try it because there is a lot of snow this year, and I think I'm going to try it this year.
Yeah, ice climbing. Where would you go?
I don't know, but I'm going with friends, and we'll see.
Wow.
We'll be planning to go where there's a lot of snow and.
Well, right now in Canada, there's lots of snow everywhere. You can go anywhere and you can go rock climbing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can climb on my home.
Yeah, basically, people actually have to climb out of their houses from the windows in winter when it gets really cold in Canada because you can't open your door because there's so much snow.
Yes.
People go to the second floor in their house and then they climb out of the windows. So it's really cold right now.
Yeah.
But have you tried skiing, Jalal?
Yeah, I tried it a lot of times.
Yeah.
How do you? It was sucks. It was really exciting.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Skiing is actually considered to be an extreme sport as well. And
I'm not a professional skier, but I'm just beginner, and I tried it a lot of times. Just because friends asked me to come with them.
Yeah, and when you live in a country like Canada, and there's so many facilities to ski, it's kind of you kind of have to,
Yeah.
Does everybody know what the big danger of extreme sports in really snowy winter conditions? What is the big danger?
We can die of cold.
Yeah. So what is that called? That's called frostbite. So frostbite. Okay. So in really cold temperatures, you can get frostbite. So the tips of your extremities, like your fingers, your toes, they can start, you know, dying. The cells start dying.
Hina is coming back.
Welcome.
Hi.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah. So we're talking about frostbite. So yeah, in really cold temperatures, the cells in your fingers start dying, and then you need to if it's like extreme frostbite. Has everybody heard of hypothermia? Hypothermia?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can have hypothermia. So it's when the core temperature of your body goes down and your organs start shutting down. So that's a very very big risk that people take when they when they are take part in extreme sports in winters. What else? What's a danger associated with lots of snow on a mountain?
Snowboarding.
Avalanche.
An avalanche. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna write that here. Fusion, can you tell everybody what an avalanche is?
When an avalanche happens, a large amount of snow like slides down the mountain or hill.
Exactly. So an avalanche is when you have a mountain and you have snow, and anything that disturbs that snow. I mean, it's usually a big thing like noise or like the earth shaking or more snow, and that snow starts sliding. So if you're skiing on a mountain on snow and all of a sudden the snow starts sliding, it tumbles, and a lot of people get buried under that snow, and then they experience frostbite and they eventually experience hypothermia.
Hello, everyone. Okay.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna end this broadcast because I